The Forest of Dean is home to a great selection of downhill trails, from the fast and flowy to some big jumps. Today I want to take you down one of my favourite downhill tracks. This is the black graded Sheepskull. Instead of flow, Sheepskull has some roots, and instead of big jumps, Sheepskull has more roots. Yep, you guessed it, this is more of a technical trail. Of course, it's not just about roots, it has a whole host of features to keep you on your toes and enough to provide you with a challenge. So let's go and check it out. Now, the only drawback to the Forest of Dean downhill trails is the steep push-up track. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's doable on an e-bike and even on a normal manual bike, but I find that I only have the legs for a couple of runs down before I find myself pushing.
There's a reason why this is called a push-up track.
Now that that's out of the way, let's get to the good stuff. As a black graded trail, this runs from the very top of the forest all the way down to the bottom. A full run can take you anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes depending on your speed and skill. Split into 3 sections, Sheepskull slowly progresses the further down you go. Starting flat and ending steep, it builds up its technical difficulty the further down the trail you get, adding an extra element each time you cross the fire road. This first short section is bumpy. You have to work out your bike position and your pedalling to navigate the janky undulating terrain. Top tip, the faster you go, the easier the bumps are. Once over the fire road, the next section begins to twist. As a more natural trail, the upper sections of Sheepskull are, well, awkward. There are lots of bumps, roots and flat corners designed to mess up your line choice and put you in an awkward position. Like the first section, your aim here is to maintain your speed as you navigate the awkward routes. For this section, looking ahead and focusing on your line choices are fundamental to having a clear run down. Lots of the awkward features can be avoided by simply looking ahead and quickly planning your line around them. Although this is a skill that's easier said than done. Now, I like this trail because it's a bit rough and ready. I'm a huge fan of more natural trails, and this trail definitely fits into that category. This section isn't overly steep or intimidating, but it's easy to get it wrong. As you pick up a bit more speed, you come to the iconic rooty section. These killer roots spread out like octopus tentacles that span the entire width of the trail. I managed to pick a decent line through, but this section is easy to get wrong and 10 times harder in the wet. As you drop into the last and longest section of the trail, things get steeper. As the speed increases on this section, you need to compile everything that you learned on the last couple of stages and apply it down here. The focus, the line choice, and the physical skills of managing the bumpy terrain. As you can see, I'm on my full suspension cube stereo today. The suspension is brilliant for dealing with the roots and bumps, of which there are plenty, and the big 29-inch wheels make the rolling a bit faster over the tougher ground. The trail today is pretty dry. With a light sprinkling of rain last night, this makes for a pretty good riding condition. But be warned, this trail changes dramatically depending on the time of year you ride it. In the wet, this trail becomes a very different beast. The routes become as slippery as ice, and the more natural riding terrain becomes muddy and unreliable. This is all great fun to ride, of course, but if you're someone not comfortable at this grade, perhaps pick your weather accordingly. But for me today, the conditions are great, which makes these tight corners and rocky drops a lot of fun. For me, this is the kind of trail that you can ride a couple of times and explore different lines all over the place. But with so many trails here to explore, you're gonna have your work cut out for you. So, coming to the end of the trail, you get spat out of the far end of the fire road right next to the skills area. An awesome trail. So, if you're someone who enjoys a more natural, rough and ready type of trail, you should definitely try Sheepskull. So now that I'm down, I'm off for a well-deserved coffee. Thanks for watching the video, let me know your thoughts down in the comments and remember to subscribe to the channel for more action. I'll see you next time.